Blast me to the mortal realms! It's time for the Mad Merlins review of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer, issue 67 by Hachette Parkworks and Warhammer. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer review by myself, Merlin Silverwind. So, here we are with the latest issue, issue 67. So before we dive into the issue, don't forget to, of course, like the video if you are enjoying the Stormbringer content, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and be sure to drop me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know how you are enjoying your collection. So we're on a pretty cool issue today. We get the awesome Stormcast Vanquishers here. We also learn about the history of Gairan, and we have a brand new battle plan. So we got a really chunky frame, so we'll have a look at that in just a sec. Right, let's open her up and check out this frame. So we got our front cover there. We get 5 40mm round bases for which to mount our models on. And we get our frame, so I'll just zoom in a sec. So here we have our frame, and yeah, it's a pretty full frame. So unlike most of the Stormcast stuff we've had before, Vindictors, they've all been push-fit models. These, on the other hand, are full multi-part kits with loads of options. So we have 5 torsos. Each one can be built in, I believe it's 2 different ways. And each one has, again, 2 heads. We've got a musician, a banner, and there's a champion with a cool double-handed sword there. I believe actually that one might be the champions, or yeah, there's some really nice ornate swords. So yeah, that could be the champions there with the awesome text on the blade. But yeah, all in all, really cool. So flip them over and have a look at the heads. So we got a helmeted and bear head for every model. We got a champion's helmet there, champion's head, and a regular Stormcast head, as you can build a regular Stormcast out of the champion's body. We also have another alternate champion head there, a nice grizzled veteran with a scarred eye. That looks really cool, might be using that myself. We got the musician's mask there, got the musician's horn. Yeah, loads and loads of options in this kit. So I'll probably be building most of the squad with bare heads, as I seem to like doing that for my Stormcast. Here we got another cool grizzled veteran there. So it shows that these guys are the veterans as opposed to the Vindictors, who are the more regular foot troops of the Stormcast army. Here you got an awesome looking banner there, the face of Sigmar, little scroll there, and on the other side just the Stormcast lightning bolt. So yeah, Funfield frame, and let's dive into our Funfield issue. So here we are with issue 67, so we get 5 Stormcast Vanquishers, we learn about the history of Gairan, and of course we have a brand new battle plan to play through as well. So, full content, A Verdant History, Realm of Life Part 3, Vanquishers, Build, Collect, Paint and Play Articles, and our mission is the Flame and Fury Flaming Forest. So let's kick things off with a history lesson looking at A Verdant History and Gairan. The history of the realm of Gairan is a history of creation and of death. Like the circles of life itself, the realm has been through periods of decline and periods of renewal. The mortal creatures who live within its confines are subject to these seasons of change, just as they are subject to their own mortality. So, yeah, during the Age of Myth, Alaria was, of course, part awoken and joined Sigmar. She felt alone, as she was the only one of her kind, so she took the soul pods and planted these in the realm of Gairan, and these became the first Sylvaneth. So it's a pretty constant war in Gairan for life and death. Usually the fight is between Alariel, goddess of life, and Nurgle, god even of plagues and death. So, Alariel's forces routed during the Age of Chaos. All of the mortal realms were assailed by the forces of Chaos. Nurgle took his particular interest in Gairan. The Sylvaneth and their allies began to lose ground. Amid the death and despair, Alariel retreated further and further into the form of a soul pod, leaving her armies entirely alone to fight against the darkness. And yeah, so it's a season of war. War comes and goes, much like the changing of the seasons. Moving along then, we have our collect article here for our Vanquishers. So here we have the 5 that the magazine will be showing us to build. We have a banner bearer, regular veteran, a champion there, a musician, and another veteran. So, as the foul enemies of Sigmar do battle with the mighty armies, units of Vanquishers leap forth from the ranks and charge into the fray to deal a final blow to the foe. So deadly is their martial ability with their celestium-imbued greatswords that their killing blows have become legendary across the realms. So yeah, we have a celestial music player here whose mighty horn can be heard over even the chaos and drums of battle. So we've got the usual tick charts, so unit traits there and unit origins. Then we can name our unit using the name tables and great deeds to be ticked off in battle there as well. Moving on, then we got our build guide. So you want us to build the Vanquisher Prime that has the female torso. We also have this really cool Celestial Greatsword with the text written in. So that's the champion sword. And then we have the rest of the squad. So we build our standard bearer here with a single-handed sword and the banner held aloft. And we build our musician here. It's probably an alternate design if you didn't like the leaning into the music sort of side design. Then we have the awesome guy with a two-handed blade here. And finally over the page then we have our last veteran guy here who has again another great sword sort of design. Pretty cool there. Moving on to our paint guide, so we're painting them in the standard Hammers and Sigmar colour scheme. Would really like another tutorial for the Iron Veins because we are not getting nearly enough love despite the fact that we were promised a lot of love. There's been very little in this collection. It took us over 40 issues to get a paint guide. We've had very little in the way of lore. Yeah, but yeah, here we go then. Regular cities, Hammers of Sigmar sort of colours. So gold, flesh for the leather and odd face or two. Corax white for the inside of the robes. Cantor blue for the outside of the robes and the shoulder pads. And a banner design, Wraithbone for the rest of the faces, and the plumes, the tassely bits. Lead Belcher for the sword, belt buckles, and the hilt pole of the banner. Baraknar Burgundy for weapon grips, Abaddon Black for the beard, Corax White for the Sigmar symbols and the banner design. Finally, Mephiston Red for any plumes. Shade the blue, white and silver with Nuln Oil as well as the grips on the sword. Agate Surf Shade on the plumes there. White and Flesh Shade for flesh. Skeleton Horde for the little bits of parchment. Then relayer Cantor Blue and Mephiston Red before we start moving towards our highlights. If I can turn a page. So, for highlighting, we start by dry brushing the Baraknar Burgundy areas as Finesse Grey. Edge highlight the silvers and gold with Stormhost Silver. Edge highlight the blue with Teclis Blue. So there's a lot. We've got the shoulder pads, we've got all the details on the banner and all the cloth. Wild Rider Red is used to highlight the red plumes. Balor Brown to highlight the leather. And Dawnstone to highlight the black areas. Plus White Scar to highlight the Wraithbone. So all our parchment, flesh, and the white symbols as well. And there we have our finished unit of Vanquishers. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking up the full instructions online in order to give mine a little bit of a different posing. Moving on, then we have our war scroll for them. So we have a champion, a standard bearer, and a musician. So champion adds 1 to his attacks. The standard bearer adds 1 to bravery characteristic, and the musician can use a rally command, returning a model on a 5+ instead of a 6. Then of course we have lightning strikes, so add 1 to the attacks of their great swords if there are 5 or more models. Add 2 if there are, if instead of 1 if there are 10 or more. So they get more attacks the more there are of them. So this is probably a unit I definitely would have loved to have picked up a second copy of. Sadly, wasn't to be. Never got around to picking up a copy before they all sold out. I'll have a look online, see if I can find one. But yeah, that's it for the moment. Then we've got tutorials for the lightning strikes as well as the musician there. So we can use the rally command there. Moving on, finally then, we have a brand new battle. So Flame and Fury, the Flaming Forest. 3 heroes and 5 troops on each side of Order and Destruction. And we are using all 4 battle mats, 3 objectives in the centre, usual set of victory points, and special rule, we have flaming arrows, so ranged attacks inflict an additional damage. So not the most interesting of battles. And then we got our usual place to record our units there that we choose. And E&E's their plans on what they've actually took in battle. So pretty cool there. Looking into the future, we have the Orruk Megaboss. So our first Iron Jaws model. Pretty big and brutish model. Perfect for you greenskins. We also learn about the Iron Jaws and have a new battle plan. Then we have the Domicile Shell. So our second set of this. We also learn about the Dwarden Gods, and we have Tactics or Adlu Spike Gits. Right, I'll bring everything back in, give you my final thoughts on this issue. So there we have issue 67 of Stormbringer magazine, and yeah, it's a pretty good issue. It would be better if they gave us more full building instructions, gave us a few more options on how to pose them. But I know what they're doing, they're trying to do it so that we follow a simplistic guide, making it easier for the paint guides to be followed, etc. Of course, nothing's stopping you picking up a second squad of these, building them slightly different. Like I said, check online for the instructions, or even just look at pictures on the website and try and figure out which components go together. Usually they are all linked together on the frame. So as you can see here, we build the banner bearer with these components here. So he's got the single sword, or you can give him double-handed sword if you wanted to. You've got a choice of 2 different ones by the looks of things. And yeah, the only things that are in multiples and duplicates are the shoulder pad designs here. And yeah, you've got plenty of head options to spread across the kits as well. Issue, little light on the reading, but it's made up for, I think, with a hobby section on how to build and paint our Vanquishers. As I said, would love to see a little more in the way of Iron Fane stuff. They've given us very little. There's loads of details. We're not too sure yet how to paint. They haven't shown us really how to paint the Iron Fane cloth. Is it going to be black? Is it going to be turquoise? We don't really know. They haven't really given us much more than the Vanquishers issue. Not Vanquishers. These aren't Vanquishers. The Vindictors issue when we had a second set of them. And yeah, it would be nice to see a character paint guide, perhaps. But yeah, it is what it is. So there we are. That's it for issue 67. Let me know what you thought of it in the video comment section down below. And that's all there is to say. So thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, stay safe and happy hobbying. Goodbye.